welcome to my channel. Well, this evening I'm gonna go fly around with the Phantom 4 Pro, trying out some different filters. Here we go. Alright, all set to go. The first flight we're gonna fly with no filters, and I've got it set at 4K, 30 frames per second, and I'm gonna leave the white balance and the exposure on auto. Here we go. Alright, so here we are flying with no filter on the camera, and take a look at the top right hand corner of your screen. What is that? That's a propeller. And what's on the left? Another propeller. Well, the only way to fix that is with an ND filter, and you'll see that later in this video. Next, we're flying up on a school, and look at the cars in the parking lot. There's glare on them. The only way to fix that is with a polarized filter. So now the thing with a polarized filter, you have to spin the filter and try to get it just as you want it. Now we're flying up to the same parking lot. Have a look at the cars. There is no glare on the cars or the school or the posts. The circular polarized filter adjusted for this. So a neutral density filter is just that. It's a neutral color that is going to let in less light to the sensor. And the reason I want to do that is for two reasons. One is when I was flying forward away from the sun, I was getting the props in the actual camera view. The second thing is if I fly low to the ground with an ND32 on, it should slow down my shutter speed just enough to give me some really cool motion blur. So I'm going to try that. All right. Okay, so this is what I look like with an ND32 filter on. Can you see me? Do I look any different? Well, I shouldn't. It should all look the same. It's just less light coming in. All right, let's take off. The ND32 is on the camera, and look at the top portion of your frame. No propellers due to the slow shutter. And look at the bottom portion of your frame here. The grass is suddenly blurry, which means motion blur. Look at me! I'm even blurry. That's classic motion blur. So that was with the, man, that sun is bright. Okay, so that was with the ND32, and I've got the little Phantom behind me. I'm gonna put on an ND64, which is gonna make it even better for motion blur. So this should be pretty cool. Let's try this out. Here we have the coveted Freewell ND64 4K filter for the Phantom 4 Pro. Phantom's over there, controller's over here. Let's go fly. Well, it's pretty amazing. It's got an ND64 on it, and it's still shooting at ISO 100. That is really impressive. So that's a really good camera on this Phantom 4 Pro. Notice the upper portion of the frame, no propellers in the frame. It's perfect. Now, here I was trying to get motion blur, but suddenly the stopping braking system is going to engage. There it goes, because there's Canada geese in front of me. The sensors on the Phantom 4 Pro saw that before I did. Pretty cool. Here I'm trying to do that classic shot where I'm coming low and you'll see the grass is turning into motion blur. And yeah, it's pretty blurry. Look at it, if I stop it on myself, I'm pretty blurry. Now, if I don't fly as fast, what if I fly really slow? What happens? Well, take a look. I'm flying really slow and I'm still getting motion blur on the ground. Now, the packet filters I just used were from Freewell. They have this little package here where you get one polarized filter, circular polarized filter, and 3 ND filters from a 16 all the way up to a 64. And they also make hybrid filters. Here we go. There they are, hybrid filters. What a hybrid filter is basically a ND filter that has a polarized coating. So they are really great when the sun is straight above your head. Then you get the best of everything. But look where the sun is right now. That's not straight above my head, but what the heck, I'm going to use an ND16 and I already know what the result should be. What you should see, if you use a polarized ND16 when the sun is low in the sky, what you're going to get is really, really crisp contrast. Objects should really stand out. The contrast should be a little bit stronger than normal. So here we go. Here it is. This is an ND16 circular polarized filter, which means I'm going to have to spin the top just like I did with the other one to try to get the right polarization. All right, spinning the circular polarized ND16, trying to get that sweet spot in the sky. You can see what I'm doing because I have the Phantom 4 camera recording. There you go, that's the darkest right there. So the sun is that way, and I'm pointing the camera this way. Here's the ND16. Have a look at how green the grass is, and look at the sky. I've caused a blue spot in the sky. Now here I'm trying to fly over to our little geese and try to do some motion blur, but however, I stopped because I thought, look at this, I'm getting no glare in the water, the geese are standing out, it's a great shot. Now here's one thing I love about the Phantom 4 Pro. Since it has sensors on the back, you can kick it in reverse, full speed, and shoot up as high as you can at the same time. It's got tons of power to fly high, and you get these gorgeous shots like this. And even look at here, the water, there's no glare, the grass is nice and green, the cars in the parking lot still look great. Alright, so that's enough flying and recording for one night. I guess we'll take it down and go check out what the footage looks like.